I thought I'd talk about, all things related to job loss and how you feel when you've just lost a job and all that. I've been out of work now for 2 weeks, and my job, cut a long story short, I've lost my job from workplace related injury, and it was unfortunate, but I couldn't go back to the job. It was a very physical, labouring job, and I've got shoulder injuries, so I'm now starting a new chapter in life. And I think it's been about 3 weeks that I've been at home, and just trying to figure out what my next move is in life. I've had some good days and bad days, but yeah, I wanted to talk about a subject on how you feel when you've lost a job. And I thought of a great philosopher I tend to think about sometimes when I'm going through something big and difficult in life. And his name's Alan Watts. Well, he's not alive now. He was a really famous English philosopher and writer. I think he died in 1973. I think he was born in 1914, I believe. Anyway, what would Alan say now? I think to myself, saying, what would Alan say about your situation? And I could just imagine him saying something like, well, you're not your job. You're not your job. And it'd probably go on about letting go of control. And I think that is one big part of having to deal with a job loss, is you just don't have that control anymore, do you? It really teaches, it's taught me a lot about, not expecting the universe to, make everything perfect for me, and just trying not to force the future to be so secure, because I reckon Alan would probably say, well, because trying to gain control over the universe is going to give you more, it's just going to create more anxiety, really, isn't it? I think that's how I've felt, really, since I've lost a job. Even though my brain's saying, well, I had no choice, I'm injured, it sucks. And I mean, even though I'm still in pain, right, from these shoulder injuries, I'm still focusing mainly on the fact that I don't have a job right now. Instead of actually just dealing with pain and thinking, well, just that in itself is pretty sucky, right? All I'm thinking about is, I've got no job. As if my job is my identity, which it isn't. So Alan would say something like that too, I reckon. He'd say, well, you're not your job. You're way more than that. And accepting that there really is no security in this world, and you actually become more free to enjoy the present moment. And that's what I'm starting to learn to do. It's my 3rd week now, and I'm starting to just remind myself of what Alan would say. Stop trying to control the universe. Stop micromanaging the freaking universe, Sam, because it's just giving you more anxiety. And it really has. It's just been giving me so much anxiety to the point where it's actually making me feel sick. And I'm like, anyone got a Valium? No. Not going to get one, because they don't like giving that out, do they? So it's like, well, what am I going to do to stop this crazy anxiety, feeling? I'll just think of Alan. So today it's all about thinking about what Alan Watts would be saying if he was sitting right here with me and you. What would he say? He'd talk about all those things about you know, just focusing on the present moment, reminding yourself that you are not a job title. You're way more than your job, you know, and stop trying to control the universe, because you can't. Trying to, you know, force the future to be a secure place is just going to give us more anxiety. Even the Buddha would say something like that. You know, I used to read a lot of books from the Buddha, and he went on a lot about accepting things in life and letting go of a lot of things. And I think what he was trying to really say is we don't really have control. Our brains think we have control. Our brains like to make us think we've got control. Look, I think to some degree we do. We have control in how we react to our situations. You know, if you think about Mother Nature, right, we can't control what she's going to do. Like right now, it's raining, and I've got no control over that. You know, I don't have control over the weather, what other people are doing, but I can choose my way of dealing with it. And that doesn't mean we can't make plans and try and do things. It just means that when they don't always work out, when our plans don't go to plan, we have two ways of dealing with it. We can fight it, we can get angry with it, or we can just, in a way, kind of ignore it. It's just like a dog, right? You go give the dog some broccoli. Most dogs don't like broccoli. And, you know, your dog will probably just look at the thing and just have a smell and look at you and then just turn away. You know, that's what my dog does. If I try to give her something healthy to eat, she'll just sniff it, sort of look at me like, yeah, no thanks. And she'll just turn her back towards it and then just ignore it. Ignore that the thing was even there. But when shit happens to us humans, we don't tend to do that, do we? We tend to look at it, stress over it, get angry over it, make a big song and dance. And then what we're doing is we're giving it so much energy that we wear ourselves out. Dogs are great teachers when it comes to dropping the crap in life, you know, like just dropping it, you know, because that's what they do. When you go to give them something to eat and they don't like, they don't start chucking a fuss. They don't start looking at the piece of food that they hate and having a meltdown. They just walk away and ignore it and, you know, like make out that the broccoli wasn't even there. And that's probably why they're so happy, dogs, you know, because they don't feel the way we do. And I think we've got to be more like a dog, you know. And yeah, I think that's what Alan Watts would be saying. You know, he'd be saying things that just don't help us, you know, trying to hold on to something, grasp onto it. And instead of doing that, he'd say, let go. Let go of the damn thing, you know. Let go of the job you had. Accept it. We always want to be in control. And I think we sometimes think we are in control when I honestly just think that that's a facade, you know. Well, I think we have a choice on how we deal with it, how we react, how we respond. So keep that in mind when you're having a day where you you feel like you're out of control, you've lost something, you can't deal with something, and it's frustrating you, maybe just do what a dog does. Just look at the situation and go, meh, you know what? I don't need this shit. I don't. I'm just going to just walk away, turn my back, and just ignore it and just move on. If that's helped you anyway, that'll make my day today. If you've got any tips for anyone or myself on how you deal with, you know, job loss and letting go of control, all that jazz, drop a comment. I'd love to read what you think or what helps you. All right, guys, until the next one. See you later.